After years of stagnation, the United States is once again experiencing strong economic growth. The stock market is smashing one record after another and has added more than $7 trillion in new wealth.
President Trump touting the U.S. economy to the world's business elite in Davos, Switzerland earlier today. So does President Trump deserve all the credit, or at least most of the credit, for a booming economy? Steve Forbes, Forbes media chairman, is back with us, along with Austan Goolsbee, former Obama economic advisor. Austan, I'll go to you first. Does the president deserve any credit for this?
No, you just changed it to any credit. Previously, you said, does he deserve all the credit or merely most of the credit?
Well, you put it in your words. Go ahead. Don't quote me.
Come on. You're kidding. When Barack Obama took office, the GDP was shrinking at a minus 8.9% annual rate. We were losing 850,000 jobs a month. When Barack Obama leaves and Donald Trump takes over, Donald Trump inherits the lowest unemployment rate of an incoming president in a half century.
So your answer is no. He doesn't deserve any credit?
75 months of job growth in a row, and now we've had 12 under Trump, and that's great.
Okay, but what I'm taking from you is he deserves maybe a tiny smidgen of credit, right?
Yeah, for not messing it up.
For not messing it up. Steve, coming out of the last recession that we had, which was a bad recession, we had the least impressive growth rate in history coming out of a recession for 7 or 8 years. I don't think we've ever had a period, at least since the Great Depression, where the economy never grew more than 3% in 1 year. Is that a record that Donald Trump just built on, or is he responsible for turning that around and springboarding us into what we have now?
I think he gets credit for taking this economy going from 25 miles an hour up to 40, 50 miles an hour with the prospect of even a higher speed. The recovery from the recession was the most punk recovery in American history. Every time you've had a big downturn before, you always get a sharp upturn, and then the question becomes, can you sustain it? This time, we never got the big bump upwards. So it was a punk recovery. What Trump has done in terms of regulation, which is removing a great burden on the economy, tax cut, already bringing more capital investment and more money coming in from overseas investing in the United States, court system that's not going to be anti-business. All of that has contributed to what Maynard Keynes called, John Maynard Keynes, the great British economist, called animal spirits, and the spirits are positive.
Austan, you don't credit the deregulation policy with doing anything regarding the growth over the past year.
I want to clarify, what is the animal that is giving us the animal spirits? The growth rate of the recovery was about 2.2% under Barack Obama, which is under 3. The growth rate in 2017 was 2.3%.
No, so it was 2.5, and the dynamism is
Hold on a second, Austan. Hold on a second. Go ahead, Steve.
The dynamism is upwards, and then even in the fourth quarter, you had growth in capital expenditures, growth in consumer spending. That bodes well for 2018.
All right. Well, getting rid of 22 regulations for each new regulation, I think, had something to do with it. Meanwhile, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi doubling down on her claim that middle-class gains from tax cuts just amount to crumbs. Take a listen.
It's got a little piece of cheese on there, and there's a mouse about to take it, and that's called the middle class. They give you this little crumb, and around it are these fat cats. They look a lot like elephants, but anyway, around there, and that's the thing. You get this little thing, and we get this big bonanza. You get the crumb, we get the banquet.
Steve, just today we heard FedEx is spending a lot of money on raising salaries of employees, on giving bonuses because of the tax cuts. Also, Honeywell. Would you call a $1,000 bonus crumbs?
Marie Antoinette would, also known as Nancy Pelosi. But for most people, that is real money right away. Instead of waiting for this recovery to get better, companies are now dishing out the money now. That's all to the good. And what you're going to see in the future, David, a key thing to look out for is new business formations, which has been terrible in recent years. That's been the dynamism of the American economy in the past. That's going to start to pick up, and that bodes very well for the future.
But, Austan, it also just explains how out of touch some of these people in Congress are. I mean, Democrat or Republican, the point point is, I had dinner the other night with a single mother.
$1,000.
I had dinner the other night with a single mother who said $1,000 allows her an extra bag of groceries every other week. That's important to her and to millions of Americans.
Look, there's no doubt about it. I would like $1,000. That is an inartful choice of words at best to call that.
And she doubled down on it. She said it again today.
I think the idea that I would, and look, I applaud, when I was in the Obama administration, I was for finding ways to reduce the corporate rate. If we increase business formation and change what's been a 20, 30-year trend downward, I think Steve's totally right. That'd be great. The one thing I would highlight here, however, is this bill costs about $2 trillion. And what we're seeing with these bonuses is that the firms are passing on less than 4% of what they got in tax cuts to their workers.
Steve, go ahead and answer that.
That was pledged to us that it was going to be 50%.
All right, Steve, go ahead.
It's nothing like that.
This is right off the top, $1,000 right off the top, with more to come. More business investment means higher salaries in the future, and that's all to the good. And so instead of waiting for the investments to pay off, they're starting to give workers more right from the beginning. And you'll start to see salaries go up again at a more healthy pace than we certainly have in the last generation.
And by the way, it's not just the bonuses. A number of companies, including J.P. Morgan and Walmart, have increased the minimum wage to about $6,000 a year. That's what it adds up to for a $30,000 a year salary. A $6,000 raise is a lot more than crumbs, right, Austan?
Well, I think that's more than crumbs. It's a very small percentage of what those firms got, and they've announced these to be one-offs, so they're going to take 98% pass on too. And a lot of companies are laying people off, so you got to just be a little careful.
All right, but we do have a very low unemployment rate right now.